Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is actually going to be Bryan Danielson's top 50 matches of all time. The top 50 Bryan Danielson matches that I've seen. I'm probably leaving a lot of matches out. I haven't seen everything from him. I haven't seen all of his Noah matches or New Japan matches, and I even haven't seen all of his Pro Wrestling Guerrilla matches. So if I'm leaving something out that's definitely worthy of being on the countdown, then definitely post it in the comment section. But this is just going to be Bryan Danielson's top 50 matches, not just in Ring of Honor, but from the whole independent scene, from everything that I've seen him. From his whole career so far. So so this is something that I actually did this on my suspended account last summer, and some people have been requested for me to do it again, like Lucid LJ and some other guys. So I have no problem doing this. So let's go right down to it. Number 50, I'm going to go with Danielson versus BJ Whitmer versus Jimmy Jacobs. This is actually from Throwdown from 2006 for the ROH title. This came together pretty good, because Whitmer and Jacobs were feuding with each other, so it made a lot of sense to put these two guys in the ring with Danielson. There's a lot of great combination moves featuring all three guys together. There was like a double German suplex spot, like a double what do you call it, like T-bone suplex spot. I mean, there was just a lot of great stuff in this match. I think Lacey got involved on the outside, and it was a three-way dance, so eventually it came down to Danielson and Jacobs. Jacobs looked like a legit threat to the championship, really put him over huge in this match, but Danielson successfully retained. That was from Throwdown from 2006. All right, number 49, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Kenta versus Samoa Joe. This is actually a three-way match in New York City from 2006, a non-title match. I mean, these guys just beat the crap out of each other. They just kick the crap out of each other. A lot of vicious, brutal strikes, a lot of vicious kicks. I talked to people waiting online to get into the Ring of Honor shows in the past, and they've all said that they were at this show, and it seemed like all three guys got concussions after the match. Now, I'm not so sure how accurate that is. I do believe that Danielson actually got a concussion from the go to sleep. Kenta actually got the win. Kenta got a lot of momentum heading into his Ring of Honor World Title match against Danielson in the future. So, great match there. That was from In Your Face. Number 48, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Paul London. This is from Night of the Butcher. Without a doubt, probably the most underrated match from 2002. They told a great story. This is for the #1 Contenders Trophy. I mean, a lot of people, I've heard some people say it's boring, but, there's some other people that think it's probably, the best match of 2002 as far as, storytelling goes. London actually won the match with the Shooting Star Press, and then after the match, the aftermath was great. They were both very, very respectful to each other. This match really epitomizes, what Ring of Honor was all about, back in the early days. So that was from Night of the Butcher. Number 47, I'm going to go with Aries versus Danielson from Take No Prisoners, 2008. This is a pay-per-view. This is the first time you get to see Aries and Danielson go at it on pay-per-view. 2007, Aries and Danielson had a huge best-of-3 series. Aries actually won that series, so Danielson actually got the win and defeated Aries by submission to, pretty much avenge that loss. So a really, really big match for Bryan Danielson from Take No Prisoners. That was number 47. Number 46, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Nakajima from Glory by Honor 7. This is for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. Danielson actually won the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship the week before this in Japan. Ring of Honor went out to Japan for the Tokyo Summit show, I believe. He wrestled Kanemaru and defeated him for the title. And so the very next week, he had to defend it against Nakajima in Philadelphia at Glory by Honor. Danielson and Nakajima just had an awesome match. Really, really underrated. Features some awesome selling from Danielson. Really sold the knee injury beautifully in this match. Nakajima, as you would expect, threw a lot of vicious kicks and made for a great combination. It's a shame we've only seen these guys wrestle once. But I really think this is an awesome match. So that was from Glory by Honor 7. Number 45, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Danielson versus Colt Cabana from Gut Check. This is an excellent match. 2 out of 3 falls with the 60-minute time limit. Cabana actually got the first fall within the first couple minutes, and then it wasn't until like the last minute of the match where Danielson got the last fall, like right before the time limit expired. He actually tricked the referee into checking for the time, and then low blow Cabana, hit him with the small package to get the win. A really, really slick move on Danielson's part. And but the thing that makes this match special was Danielson actually separated his shoulder, took a vicious bump onto the outside, and really fucked up his shoulder. So this is the match where it happened. So a serious gut check for Danielson to wrestle the whole match with an injured shoulder for 60 minutes. So that was from Gut Check at number 45. Number 44, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Jimmy Rave. This is actually from the 4th anniversary show. I mean, this is an example of Danielson just taking a mid-carder and just getting the best out of him. Now, some people think Jimmy Rave is underrated, but there's a lot of people that don't like him. And find him kind of boring. But this is his best match by far, in my opinion. He looked awesome in this match. There was a couple times where he thought Ray definitely had a chance of winning. Prince Nana got involved. I thought that made the match a lot more interesting. So that was from the 4th anniversary show that took place in 2006 for the ROH World Championship. All right, number 43, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Marufuji. Naomichi Marufuji. This is from the first Hammerstein Ballroom show from A New Level from 2008. It's pretty underrated. I think the Danielson Marufuji matches kind of get overshadowed by the Danielson Kenta matches, but these two guys can still go. This is better than their Final Battle 2005 match. Marufuji was at the top of his game here. There were some beautiful reversals to the counter mutilation. They just put on the best match at the A New Level show, which was a big show because it was the first Hammerstein Ballroom show, and they stole the show. So that was number 43. Number 42, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Aries versus Jerry Lynn versus Tyler Black, the 4-way match on ROH on HDNet. I've talked about this match plenty of times. Jerry Lynn successfully defended the belt, and I would say this is by far the best match on ROH on HDNet. So if you haven't seen it, definitely watch it on YouTube. All right, number 41, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Alex Shelley. This is from Arena Warfare. This took place during the whole ROH versus CZW feud. And, this match is hilarious. The pre-match stuff was hilarious. Danielson said he was going to punch out a little 12-year-old girl. And then Shelley was jawing with the fans, calling them homosexuals, calling them homos, faggots. A very, very dirty match. A lot of dirty, pre-match tactics in this match with Danielson and Shelley just jarring with the fans. And but, the actual match was awesome. Technically, it was a great match. It had a great finish. Danielson actually countered the sliced bread into the counter mutilation and then just reversed that into a backslide. Just a very, very solid, mat wrestling type of match here. A very slow, kind of methodical, not for everyone, but if you love great old school technical wrestling, you would definitely love this match. And the great thing about this was a lot of the CZW fans were in the crowd and they were kind of getting on Danielson about being boring, and Danielson was like, "Yeah, I'm very proud to be the world's most boring wrestler." So that definitely added to the match as well. So a lot of great personality and great wrestling in this match. Number 40, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Homicide. This is from Reborn Stage 2. I believe this is the first show that ever took place in Chicago. So Chicago's first show. But yeah, Danielson and Homicide put on a great match. A very, very, this is more technical and more, more of a wrestling match than their other matches from 2005. And this set up their 2005 series. Homicide actually low-blowed Danielson, hit him with the lariat to win the match. And just thought it was great. I would say that, it's a little bit overrated. I think Gabe Sapolsky kind of hyped it up too much, but it's still an excellent match. And really pretty much set up the whole Homicide-Danielson feud going into 2005. Now, Danielson wasn't really that active in 2004, so they definitely used the opportunity to their advantage to, definitely, plant the seeds for the whole Homicide-Danielson rivalry. Okay, so number 39, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Lance Storm from Better Than Our Best. Lance Storm actually came out of retirement and pretty much had the best match. This is the best match I've ever seen Lance Storm wrestle. I don't know, maybe there's a better match he had in ECW, WCW that I haven't seen, but this is awesome. Danielson got the best out of Lance Storm. This is like a 4-star match without a doubt. And, I just felt Danielson's legacy definitely raised after this match. It definitely got a lot higher. His credibility, his Ring of Honor World title reign definitely got up to that next level. But, the great thing about this match, I remember, Lance Storm said on his website he was impressed with Danielson the wrestler, but he was even more impressed by Danielson the person, because Bryan Danielson really went out of his way to make Lance Storm feel comfortable and was very, very unselfish. Really wanted, he was kind of apprehensive about the finish, with Lance Storm tapping out to the counter mutilation. He felt like maybe because this is Lance Storm's best match, Lance Storm's first match in a long time, maybe they should have went in a different direction with the finish. So he was very, very, Lance Storm was just very, very, impressed with how unselfish Bryan Danielson was. So I think that that's pretty cool right there. So that was Danielson and Lance Storm from Better Than Our Best. An excellent, excellent match. Number 38, I'm going to go with Danielson versus CIMA. This is from PWG's DDT4 2007. This is kind of like a special attraction match. The DDT tournament is a tag team tournament, but, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla was the first guys to have, to my knowledge, I think they're the first promotion to present Danielson versus CIMA in a one-on-one match. And, you get Dragon Gate's biggest star versus ROH's biggest star, and just made for a great match. This went to a 30-minute time limit draw. but they pretty much tore the house down. So you can actually find this on the PWG Sells Out DVD, so definitely check it out. All right, number 37, I'm going to go with Danielson versus AJ Styles. This is from Dissension. This is an awesome match. This is from 2006 for the ROH World Title. And now the great thing about this is definitely right up there with all the Danielson AJ matches. It's a phenomenal match. It's one of Danielson's best title defenses from 2006, without a doubt. But the great thing about this was Danielson was the ROH champion, and AJ was still wrestling for TNA at the time and ROH from time to time. But I think the fact that Danielson won clean with the crossface chicken wing, AJ actually tapped out. I think that kind of sent the message, that ROH's champion is better than TNA. AJ wasn't the champion, but AJ is always TNA's poster boy, so it's kind of like ROH's best wrestler is better than TNA's best wrestler. Even though this wasn't nationally televised, I still think it sent a strong message. And maybe this is why TNA pulled their talent, because they have their best guys losing to another promotion's best guys. So, but still, I think this did a lot for the ROH championship. I think it definitely raised the credibility for anyone that saw the match. I think the credibility of the championship definitely was a lot higher in their eyes. So that's just my opinion. So, all right, number 36, I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson versus Christopher Daniels from A Night of Tribute. Definitely the best Bryan Danielson versus Christopher Daniels match that I've seen. Daniels actually had to win a triple threat match to advance to meet Bryan Danielson in the main event. But, just great stuff. A great technical wrestling match. Just a very, very solid matchup with a lot of great old school wrestling. You get, Ring of Honor's, their best wrestler from the early days, Christopher Daniels, versus the current Ring of Honor champion, the best in the world, Bryan Danielson, in 2005. So just think it made for a great combination. Some people don't like the ending, but, I still think it's a great match. Danielson kind of knocked Christopher Daniels out with like a forearm to win the match. All right, number 35, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Claudio Castagnoli. This is from Northern Navigation. This is actually Ring of Honor's Canadian debut. This show was just loaded, and I thought Danielson and Claudio, this probably wasn't even the match of the night, but this is probably the best Danielson-Claudio match to date, without a doubt. It was babyface versus babyface. They really weren't feuding with each other. It was just a nice, friendly, competitive feud. A really, really fun match. Crowd was super into it. They were really more on Danielson's side. So Danielson actually won the match, I believe, with the backslide. So this pretty much, signaled Claudio turning heel, because the fans just weren't on his side at all. So that was from Northern Navigation. Number 34, I'm going to go with Danielson versus Spanky. This is from Best of America's Super Juniors tournament from WrestleMania 21 in 2005. Without a doubt, this is probably the best opener in ROH history. This just had everything in it. They got time out there, a lot of vicious suplexes, some great technical wrestling, some great high spots, some suicidal dives. They just stole the show. This is an awful show, and they definitely saved the show, because this whole tournament was just did not work out. I've talked about it before. The New Japan talent just did not deliver, in my opinion. But Danielson and Spanky just had an awesome match. Some people would actually say that this is one of Bryan Danielson's maybe top 15, top 10 matches. They actually put it on his Rise to Glory compilation DVD. So a lot of people are very, very high on it. Number 33, I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness. This is from Weekend of Champions Night 2. Pure title versus ROH title. This is the first ever meeting between these two guys in Ring of Honor, and they definitely brought it. This is one of their best matches, in my opinion. Had an awesome finish with, Danielson actually diving out into the crowd and Nigel busting him open with the chair shot. Nigel actually retained the Pure title by count out. So I just thought it was awesome. This is their first meeting, so definitely check it out.